But there actually are some pretty cool Kickstarters that
Oh yeah, no, 2 of them
I would say
super excited
are
about.
newsworthy.
Yeah.
And you're going to bring 2 of them to us first, and I'm going
Alright,
to tell
good.
you which one you're going to bring to us first. And it's the one both of us are probably excited for, Battle for Souls.
Yeah, I'm sure we talked about this very early on because I think I got it right when we started Roll for Crit. And
Good old days.
this is from Rob Burke Games, the same guy who brought to us Dragon Magi and
Operation Faust.
Thank you. I always mix up that one. And we've loved his games, and this is the one that actually started it. And to me, it's been probably one of my favorite dual-playing games.
2-player.
Yeah. In which you play, one side plays heaven, one side plays hell, and you're actually fighting over souls in the center.
And now this is the 2nd edition.
Plus an expansion. And of course some promos as well. And which is really cool because they're doing a whole new reprint with whole new cards too. And if you do just the expansion, you can get all the additional cards stuff as well.
How much exactly has changed?
Rule-wise, nothing really.
Okay.
It's more of, I think, he's making a new reprint because a lot of people have been asking for
And
it.
it hasn't been really available widely,
Right.
so now that he's got a little more...
And there's also a special edition, collector's edition, which has metal tokens and stuff. And the expansion, I know, actually your angels and the archangels and devils, which you can get. So both heaven and hell can get the big angels and devils to help you.
Okay.
They actually get tokens to help influence things and stuff. So new rules.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for this. This is definitely, I got it beforehand. I was lucky to get it. I didn't get it through the Kickstarter, but he had some leftovers, and I was lucky to get a copy that way. So if you don't have this is one I really suggest you take a look into. This is definitely one of my top favorite 2-player games out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. We haven't played it as much lately, but for 2-player games, really fun. The artwork is really cool.
And honestly, that's mostly just because all our 2-player games usually get hit.
That's true. But it's just it's a really cool theme, and it feels very I almost want to say, I don't want to say old school, but it's
the
kind of
artwork
like that.
is
the artwork.
Yeah,
but in the mechanics too. It almost reminds me of
it actually feels like the pull
kind of card game techniques.
And by the way, I just realized it's important to say that this is one of my favorites, considering Draco Magi is about dragons, and I love dragons. So if this beats that out, which I do love that one too.
Yeah, they're good games, good themes. I think it's the 2nd edition that may or may not come with the expansion is $45. If you can get just the expansion for cheaper. Or
18.
So you can check out those details on your own, but worth your money. And next up we have Agents and Operatives.
Yes.
The heck is this?
This one I'm actually excited about because this comes from the people who one of the first Kickstarters ever backed, Secrets of the Lost Tomb.
Lots of history going on.
Yeah.
here.
No, that's why I'm excited. It's 2 are
Settle down, breathe.
But we've talked about their game, how we love it. It was mechanically a lot of fun, and thematically, it hit the thematic mark dead on. Mm-hmm. And this game is not related. This is actually a whole new property, so it's not. Finally, they're doing something new. Because I know you mentioned earlier, you're like, is this another expansion?
12 Secrets of the Lost Tomb Kickstarters.
But in this game, you play as one of 3 groups. It's a worker placement with secret identity. Okay. You're either the agents, the operatives, or mercenary. The agents, operatives are trying to kill each other. Mercenary is freelance. Okay. In the game, you have your roles hidden, but you'll be using agents. Pretty much, you get your own. I guess I should call them agents.
Operatives.
Spies.
Okay.
To put on locations which give you abilities or trigger effects, or maybe get you more powerful equipment and stuff. And then you can attack other people and actually look at their cards, so you can see whether they're friend or foe. Mm. And you actually have a health tracker, in which you can attack your people if you're not sure.
So can you die?
Yes and no. What happens is if your health hits 0, it's more like your organization collapsed or your base. So you're more like a rogue operative now.
Oh.
So you can still affect the board game and take slots from opponents and stuff, but you can't be nearly as strong. Mm. So the whole idea is you're trying to take out your opponents without taking out your friends.
That should be the tagline for the game.
I'm sure they have a better one.
They probably do. Yeah, no, that sounds cool. I don't know if we've ever talked about, but there aren't that many that I know of secret agent games, at least not that are that popular or successful. It's definitely a genre that could use some more juice.
Well, yeah, and I'm excited because we've already seen how they've been able to take thematic and hit it out of the park. So I feel like this worker placement hit and roll is going to hopefully get a chance to really hit that feeling of being, keeping your friends close to your friend and your enemies closer, kind of with spies.
I always keep my enemies 4 feet away.
Yeah, Neil's about 4 feet.
Yeah, Neil's about 4 feet away. That one goes for about $50, $49 to back that. And of course, there's always different tiers. I don't know. I don't need to clarify. People know how Kickstarters work.
We go for the base.
Yeah.
We tell them the base.
That's the base. Agents and operatives. Link below for all of these. The next one has more history for me, personal history.
Man, this is just historic Kickstarter.
It really is. It really is. Even our one after that kind of too. There's a new Goonies card game, the Goonies Adventure card game. So way back in the while ago, I purchased the Goonies Blu-ray, which part of the reason I did so at the time, because it came packaged with the Goonies board game.
I know you.
It's not a good board game. It's very Candyland style. You roll and move on a board, draw cards, try to get across the thing. I wouldn't recommend it. Not a selling point for this Blu-ray. So it's kind of cool that they're doing this. This is more.
And even worse, you got the movie.
That's right. Don't write us angry letters, please. So this is the Goonies card game. This is much more. It's a cooperative game, and it reminds me a lot of Pandemic. Kind of, and maybe a little Robinson Crusoe-y, but not nearly that in depth. Basically, yeah, your team. There's no turns in the game.
You're the Goonies.
You're the Goonies, and everyone decides what to do at the same time, like Robinson Crusoe. So you have like multiple actions per turn between all of you. So you need to do this, you need to do this, or maybe we both need to work on this together. You're moving through different locations. You're playing cards. You're trying to get rid of cards that are bad, and then you're trying to find treasure, which is good. And sometimes you have cards that you need to like combine together, like Pandemic. So it looks like more of a gamer style game. One thing that I kind of like about it, which I could see as also as a criticism, is that it doesn't feel like this had to be a Goonies game. I definitely feel like, I get the sense, I could be completely wrong, but I get the sense from the rule set that this might have been a different game that had the Goonies license brought onto it. But I think for me, that's partly a good thing because it means that the game,
the game was built as a game first, not as...
Right, and it wasn't just let's make the
to a
Goonies
Blu-ray.
happen. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking, sort of unrelated parallel, I know when it first came up, but if there'd be a game like, you know how a lot of times, sort of unrelated, how kids like will imagine things like...
I've never did that when I was a kid.
Like the floor is lava, or they'll see like something and pretend it's like a weapon, or see a thing as a monster. Like, is there a game that does that? Like the artwork actually is like a broom or something. You like, but it says like the sword of this, or like.
Is that what it's kind of what they do in the Goonies? Not really.
Well, I was more thinking like how it's a group of
right.
And it was more jumping tangents, but
yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from with going back to the Goonies board game, because I feel just because something wasn't made just for it isn't too bad. I mean, we've seen plenty of games that have been reskinned and been happy about. I mean, Legendary wasn't meant for Transformers, but if they came out with Transformers Legendary, I would be so happy.
Every chance you get.
There isn't a Transformers board game, so yes, I'm going to take every chance to try to get that hint across.
I'm with you. And of course there are, the Goonies have their abilities, and there's traps and stuff, and things happen. So it has that flavor in it. I'm excited because I think it looks more gamery. And that goes for $25.
So we're going to do this back to back, right? That
yes.
And the DVD.
We're going to have a special double feature playback for those two Goonies games. I bet there was an old one too when the movie came out.
So which one of those is Sloth?
I'm Chunk.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And finally, last game, which we talked about a while back when it was announced, is Coliseum, the new edition from Tasty Minstrel, which is finally now up. If you haven't played Coliseum, basically you're trying to put together the best gladiatorial show. You want to get the most points, attract the best people, round to round.
Yeah, we've played the game. It's a lot of fun.
The original edition.
The Kickstarter comes with 2 new scrolls for you to complete, which I think is like the Emperor's son's birthday and a wedding, which I think is great. It also comes with, I want to see, this exclusive sleeve, which to me makes me laugh because I think it was them trying to be like, people didn't like the cover, so they made another.
Right.
But still cartoony a little, so I don't think it's going to satisfy the people who are complaining.
Well, I will say I'm still not crazy about the cover artwork, but I very much like the artwork of the board and the tokens.
No, I love the board. I think the board looks really nice, and I'm just
Yeah.
curious. I don't know if I assume it's not, but if there's less spaces or anything, do you know?
As far as I could tell, it looked the same.
I don't own it, so I don't really know the
Yeah.
spacing. But no, I think it looks a lot better in terms of everything looks nicer in the center.
Clearer, more inviting. I thought the symbols were a little better designed. And I also, there are a bunch of stretch goals, which I'm pretty sure they're going to hit for better pieces that have like characters drawn on them and better, little Coliseum pieces to put, and even
Yeah.
like little, not just cardboard
like from
pieces.
when I saw like if you haven't played the game, you can upgrade your arena through either growing it bigger, or you can actually get like podiums and special things.
Right.
And this, there's actually
It actually has like a little
meeples
podium,
and
yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah,
stuff,
which
not-
is really awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, even if you're not a fan of the artwork, like we said, Coliseum is definitely we agree to be a very solid game.
Yeah, no, and at the end of the day, like, I don't have to look at that box. If I don't like it, that's fine. I'll put it on the shelf.
I mean,
what matters is the pieces.
I don't mind the cover, but like I said, that sleeve is not.
It's
solid.
it's a compromise. It's a compromise.
Well, no, the thing is, like, it's not that I don't like the sleeve. It's that
Yeah,
I know it's not
I know.
the compromise that the people who didn't like it before. But
that goes for $60, and
we forget to mention one of the reasons why it's probably $60. This one has metal coins,
metal coins.
which is like wow.
I think they said retail is going to be like 80.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, so there is. Usually, I'm used to Kickstarters being around.
And this was a Kickstarter where there is one tier. You pay
Well,
$60
no, that usually
for the
I-
game, and that's it.
I find that usually happens when it's anything from any of the major publishing companies.
Oh, yeah?
Usually 1 or 2 tiers.
I kind of like that. It's like load off my mind. I don't have to.
Well, I like and don't like it because one, it's like okay, you're literally just selling directly to us, so we don't have to buy it so you can get a bigger profit instead of buying it cheaper from someone else.
That's I guess I see what you're saying.
I mean, which I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, well, they're skipping the middlemen.
I like
so-
3 to 5 tiers.
And then part of me sort of arguing in my head, like, well, they're skipping a middleman, so more money goes to them. So that's actually a good thing for us.
Yeah, why not? It's nice.
Well, us as
They
in the
deserve
gamers, not
it.
us as in Roll for Crit.
Right. Anyway, you can see all these links for these Kickstarters below.